Leela from Miss Leela Pink Journey, and I am just sharing a question that was asked of me this weekend about Embrilliance software. I do not know how to train anyone using Embrilliance software, but the question I was asked was, how do you know which different no, when you download the Embrilliance software, if you have more than one of the modules, are you really able to tell which one you have? And you can tell because all you gotta do is go to. They have a lot of Q&As, and you can read which actual module does which function. But I'm going to open up my Embrilliance software and share a little bit of what some of the ones I have do. So I just click on it to open it up. I have Essentials, Enthusiast, Stitch Artist Level 1, Merrowly Patches, and Font Collection 1 and 2. Font Collection 1 and 2, I believe when I purchased one of these different softwares, it came with Font Collection 1 and 2, but I can't remember which one that is. I don't believe I purchased it separately, but I'd have to go and look in the manual to see where it came from. And I mean, if you go to Embrilliance, the front of their web page, it'll break down which of the modules does which. I also have the thumbnailer, which I like a lot. It helps me a lot. So if I want to start a new document, a new project, I hit File, New Page, and here's my new page titled Untitled 20. And I can start by clicking on this A symbol here, which is create a lettering design. If you hover under or over each of the different icons on the screen of the Embrilliance software, it'll tell you what each thing actually does. Like this is the magnifier tool to magnify. And this right here is to measure. To measure, like if you wanted to measure some of the size of your stitches on screen, you can do that. And here's the save button, the most important to me, because I have had the software crash and didn't save. Here's the print function, which I print almost every project I'm working on. I print a copy of it so that I can place it right on the on my machine where I'm getting ready to embroider, so that I can know what size I'm going to need to be able to fit the doggone hoops. Because sometimes I use some of the aftermarket hoops like Mighty Hoop or something like that, and I want to make sure it fits. This is how you open a file. And this is the preference window where you can do different things with the grid settings. Another person asked me about the grid settings. So what if I wanted this background to be a different color? I can click right here on background and I can change the screen color. Hit apply and okay, and then you got a different screen color. In case you wanted to see, let me change this to white thread. I move my keyboard so I can reach it easier. Yellow thread is fine. So in case you wanted to be able to see if I was using yellow thread or something for a project and I wanted to see how it was going to look on a purple background. That's why we use that. Let me go back and up here and take that off in the grid section. I would click background and I can reset it to default. Let's just do that. Okay. And hit OK. But you can do a lot of different things in the screen in this preference setting. I don't do a lot up here at all. have changed my hoops to name some of the sizes of the hoops that I have, but I don't work in there a lot. So back to the lettering. You click on this again to create a lettering design, and then you can type whatever letter you want in the screen. So I'm going to choose a name, and I'm just typing it right over here in this little block area here, and hit the return key, and there's my name. And I said block because that was the name of the font that's showing up, and that's what I was looking at. So um, you can click on the actual right next to it here in this arrow up and down button, and you can change to different fonts. And in this screen, you can see the different fonts that you have purchased or downloaded for free if you can get them, and that you want to use. So as I'm changing fonts, I can just go up here to the undo button to go back to where I want. It's a funny kind of font for Miss Joanne. Click back on the lettering to get this box back up. See, when I click out the lettering, it goes to a regular page for like thread, color, and preference. If I want to change the color, if I want to change the color, color is up. I click on the color that's shown, and then I can scroll up and down, or I can type the name of a color in, like gold, and hit the go button. You can also change the different threads that you're using, but I use Madeira Poly a lot, so I'm going to keep it on that. And it doesn't matter. Once you get to your embroidery machine, you won't know. The thing that's helpful here is that you can really see the different colors that you may have. See the color numbers. If you have carbon paper color 1555 for your Madeira thread, then you can actually match it up to what you see on the screen. So that's when this is very helpful. Like gold, there's a bunch of different golds, 1791 and all of that. So there's a gold that I like here. I think I just saw it. Oh, the pumpkin spice is pretty, and there's copper is pretty. I don't have any of these colors in my little arsenal of colors. These are pretty though. Shiny pretty. Oh, that's pretty. Shiny penny. And these will help you to see some of the colors you might want to order too. I like that shiny penny. I like that. I'm going to keep it there for a minute. But back to the letter. So if I click on the letter, I can change it to some of the other fonts, like these fonts in purplish color. These fonts are fonts that are either part of they're all Embrilliance fonts in these purple colors. And they're native fonts. For Embrilliance usually has a native font, Native, but there are some other designers, embroidery designers, who make native fonts. And the difference in the native fonts, let me just click on this brand iron and make it a little bit bigger. You can use this bar to make it a little bit bigger. The difference in the native fonts that I know of is that when you go over here and click on stitch, you can change the satin density. Let me make it bigger so you can see. See how there's a few little spaces in the stitches if it was this big. Of course, you're not even stitching anything this big normally. Down here tells you how big it is. Let me double click on this and it'll change it to inches and things. So it's telling me it's 1 7/8 by 13 over 60. It's not really that big, but if it was a big design, you know, then you can see where there would be stitches that you can kind of see through. But if it's this small, which that's the real size of it, you won't be able to see those stitches. But what I want to show you is that, so you see the little gaps in the stitches. You can go over here to satin density, bring it down some, and then watch the letters. See how they tighten up? The stitches tighten up. I really like that. Here you can do compensation and make the letters thicker. For instance, if I was doing like a thick towel, or if I was doing a minky fabric or something like that with fur. For instance, when I do my Christmas stockings, I'm going to thicken up the font, and you can get it really thick. um, I'm going to thicken up the font, and I'll probably make the satin a little more dense, um, tighter, the satin stitches, just because I like them tight like that when I'm stitching. Also, I believe the knockdown stitch is part of Enthusiast, but when you go to Utility and add a knockdown stitch while you have the letters highlighted, you click on knockdown stitch, and you can change it to however you want it to show um, the size of the stitch lengths and things like that for your knockdown stitch. You can put it bi-directional or not. And you see how it covered everything up? Well, it's not all covered up, it's behind it. So I'm going to click out of it, and then you'll see it's behind it. And that knockdown stitch is a little thick for me, so I usually, you got to click back on it, because over here is where whatever you click on is what you're working with. I haven't grouped it, so it's separate. If I was working with the same color as the lettering, you can go to palettes, click on that color that you already used, and click OK, and then your knockdown stitch will match your stitching on the screen. You can see it. Of course, when you go to your embroidery machine, you'll make it whatever color you want to make it. But I'm going to click on the underlay, and I'm going to go. No, I'm going to let me undo that and go back to Utility, and I'm going to click on Add the Knockdown Stitch again. But this time I'm going to shorten my stitch length just a little bit and just see how it turns out. It's a little tighter, and I like it a little tighter like that. See, you can keep playing with it and make it as tight as you want. Let me see the knockdown stitch. I had it set a certain way, and I clicked back on set default, and so it took it away from how I had it. I like that better, but it can be even tighter than that. So that's pretty cool right there. So you're ready to stitch that, you would I would select all, and I'd hit group, and then that way I'd have it all together. And if I wanted to, I could go up here to Utility, and I could tell it to base the design, which puts that basting stitch around my design. And I would select all and hit group, and then my design would go over to my machine, and I could click on send to Solaris and tell it to go over to my machine, and it will go over wirelessly if you have that wireless capability on your machine. So, and it will base that design. You could also just base the hoop, if you had more things. But I'm going to take the base off and tell you about, let me see, you can save this as an image if you want it. You click on Save Image. This is part of Enthusiast too, I believe. And if you click on Save Image, you can click OK. If you want it to be a transparent image, it doesn't matter. You click OK, and you can title it. I'm just going to leave it as untitled. This is going to be the only untitled in that little section. And I'm going to go to Untitled and see if I can pull it up for you and let you see how it looks. Untitled. Today is, well, maybe I better spell it out. That's what I get for not naming it, huh? I can't even try. I got too many things untitled. Real smart. Really smart. All right, that's not going to work. Okay, let me do it again and name it for real. So you got this clicked on. It's already grouped, and you hit Save. Where was I? under utility, save image, and I'm going to say transparent. This time I'm going to give it a name. Today is 15th October, PNG image. And now I should be able to find it. And I see the other one in that box too. But I don't have a lot of stuff with PNG. 15 October, that's last year. So here it is. So like for instance, if I wanted to send this to Joanne and say, this is how your file will look with the knockdown stitch. You like this color or whatever, and I can just send it and, mail it or however you do it on your computer. But that's a good way to have that file, or even if you're keeping a binder of the different files that you've created, designs you've created, this is a great way to have that in that binder and print it out, because you can print it also and have it. Don't make it about me. I can print it. Yeah, there you go. I can print it there and have it. But that's how that works. And I like that. And if I wanted to, I could make this into a patch because this is the Merrowly function. If I highlight that and click on utility, add patch, I can add a rectangle patch to it. That's a big patch, but I can still add it. I can make it smaller. I'm going to hold down my command key and pull it in. And I can just drag it right around there and pull it in. And that will be a patch for that. Of course, you just fix it till it can fit right. Or you can make the letter smaller, one or the other. You can click on the actual file here. See how it's highlighted because I grouped it? Those letters are grouped with that underlay for that knockdown stitch. I can go up here and I can make it, let's make it 90%. And now it'll fit in my little box. So you can do either way. You can drag it, with the edges, or you can do it that way. And this is how you can make a patch real quick. Also with, I'm going to remove the patch, undo, 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 or I can just click on this patch and hit my delete key and go back to utility and add another patch edge, and it can be a circle. Of course, I will make that smaller to fit, which would be easy too. You just do the same thing, kind of hold your key down or whatever. I would center this in the hoop, and then I would take that name and center that in the hoop. Now they all are centered, and if I want to bring that name down to fit in there, I think 85% would do that. I'll go up here and change to 85%, maybe a little smaller. I'll bring my patch up a little bit to 80, and now they fit a little bit. That would be my patch. I would hit group, and then I would save it and make that patch. Or I could do this cute little patch thing that I kind of like. It's called page wrap. So now I've wrapped that name into a patch that go right on a jacket, a jean jacket. That'd be real cute. And I would bring it down, let it fit a little better for me. And that's too tight, but you get the drift. And I would hit select all under edit and group. And there I have it. So as you can see, there's a lot of other things you can do. And the thing that I'm supposed to be answering is that I can't tell by looking at this, which function, what goes under. I just know that like this is to create a design. I can click on that and I can bring an image in. Like for instance, the image that I just had, click on image. If I want to bring Joanne image in, I can click open, and the image is somewhere around here, and it's probably so big it's gonna make my machine crazy. There it is. Yeah, that's it. I can do transparent so you can see it. The thing of it is, it's behind that. Let me move it. I don't know how to move it. Let me move some of these. That's the image right there that I'm clicking on. See there it says image. I can do this to it and the color. I need to be able to pull it up. So it's behind, and I don't know how to make it come up. Oh, I made it transparent, so that's one reason why it's not showing up. So if I had a regular design, let me delete that. I have some other images, but anyway, you can bring an image in and you can work with it. You can. This is part of Stitch Artist level 1 that I'm showing you right now. That much I do know. I don't know which one it goes with which sometimes, but I know that you can draw points and things like that with Stitch Artist level 1. I can bring in true type font. If you click under here, it tells you what that is. Add true type art. And these are fonts that I have on my computer already. So, for instance, like chalkboard. Let me click, let me type in a name there. Click OK. And let me move with my keyboard. Oh, okay. So it's because it's not a font here. It's the true. I mean, let me hit this. It's a true type font. I don't know what to do with it. Honestly, I don't. I'm guessing as I go along. But I'm going to move this up just to show you what I could do with one of the letters if I had Stitch Artists open here. I could click here to add stitches, different kind of stitches to it. So the last thing I was playing with was chain stitch. I can make it a bean stitch. You've seen some bean stitch letters. You can make your own bean stitch letter if you have Stitch Artist level 1. And I don't know how to do that yet. You can make a double stitch letter or single. Change the color to something that you could actually see. I'll just do that to see it. But they just give you some ideas the Stitch Artist level 1 can do. You can also fill in the stitch. This right here button tells you can fill the stitch in. So I can fill it in. I can change the fill color. Pretty cool. You can change the stitches also in here, but the pattern of the stitches. And I'm not very familiar with it, so I'm gonna delete that. Let me delete the whole little L Nicole for now, just so I can clean up my screen and not make it crazy. If I want to save this, you want to click your save button. But when I save things, I save to save as stitch and work in there. That helps it to save as a BE file and also as a PES file because that's what I'm usually working with. So I'm going to name this Joanne Patch Sample. Get a jean jacket and patch it on there for Joanne. And today is October 15th. And I'm going to save it like that. That's how I really found my things, by the date and the name. Because I'm going to show you something else real quick. So another thing you can do, let me hit the save button here, is, so of course, like I said, I don't know how to work these that much. So that's stitch edit. You can edit the stitches, and that's create designs. I've showed you this right here to show the preference window. And let me just get a letter out here like this. This measuring little function, I've tried it a couple of times. And I may not even be doing this right, but just to give you an idea, you got to measure the ruler out. And you're supposed to be able to drag it across the letter like that. And at the bottom of your screen, on the left hand at the bottom, you can see the length, stitch length moving, showing you how I guess, long the stitch length is on it, right? So down there it says 3/16 by 1/8 length, right? And then there's 1/4, I don't know. So let's just click off of that, and then if I go over here to stitch, you can change the different stitches of how you want it, and then that's when you want to go back and measure again if it's how tight or wide you want it, kind of thing. I'm jumping around, but back to lettering. If I want to go back to Joanne and change the font, I just click on the name Joanne and go back to the font, and I can choose different fonts. And I'm mostly just showing you fonts from Embrilliance because I use them the most, and because I like how you can manipulate the actual stitches using this satin density and things like that. I don't know if you just saw that. Let me make it a little bit bigger and show you that. Let me undo the font. Back to Joanne. And see, it's a little bit of spaces in the actual stitches, but that's, if I was stitching, I might, it won't show that much. But sometimes I do go in because I might be doing a towel or something, and I just want to make the stitches a little tighter. So if you watch the stitches as I bring this elevator up and down here, see how I tightened up those stitches really nice? I really like that function. And I think that you can only do that if it's a native font. But that's all in the big booklet, the online booklet for Embrilliance. They have a lot of information in there on their website to really tell you all about that. Some other fonts. There's a couple of other design artists that do the native fonts also, but I just haven't used them a lot because once I bought the Embrilliance fonts, I've just really used them more. But there are some really nice fonts out there. Now this font, let's see how it seems like there's a lot of space in there, but once you stitch that, there won't be that much space in there. You can actually, this is by a different artist, it's not Embrilliance, but you can actually see, you can fill in the satin stitches too and make them fill in better. You see that? See how they move? And you could also use the field compensation to make them thicker. So it works with other fonts too. Let me undo that little thingy. Come on. Don't freeze on me now. And it will freeze. I think when you do so much, like Embrilliance say, okay, that's enough. Okay, you don't want to come out of that, so I don't want to make it mad. Other fonts are like this Diana font, and that's by Embrilliance. I can tell by the color of it. It's a nice font by designs by Juju. If I want to make that stitch fill in more, I can. One of my favorite fonts is the Fancy Script. And since I've been playing with the stitches, let me fix that. See how it filled in really nice? If you go here to letters and you click on the space button, you can make your letters, you can move them. See that? Let me go to ABC. See how you can move your letters in and out? I like that function. This is why I really like the software. Some people go, I don't never need the software. You don't need it. You really don't need it, but it's a good idea to get it, and then you can, do different things. See, if I click this green button, I can move this letter here or there. I can take the Joanne letter and move it all around, out the way. Let me put that back. And if you just, like if I want to move two together, I can click my command key and click on both those letters, and then I can move them both, out the way like that. It can do different things, you can flip them around and things like that. You can also change the letterings to vertical. you could make your own kind of, what do you call it, monogram fonts like that. And since it's so, like if I click this return button here to bring it back to the middle, I should be spacing in. I guess you can't do that with the monogram font. If I wanted to just move it, I'll grab this one. You might be able to do it. I don't know how to do it. Let's say that. Not can't. But I can move it over like that. Look how pretty that is. That is really pretty. Wow. I like that. That's cute. Let me see some. That's cute. Let me see about the spacing. I can move this down so there's space right. Wouldn't that be nice on something? That's cute. All right. If you want to do, let me just say, if you want to do so this right here is some of the different functions of Embrilliance. I don't know if this may have came with Essentials, I believe. Yeah, I think this came with Essentials, the different little applique frames and thing like that. That's really nice. And if you had Stitch Artist, you can click on some of these and you can do some different things with the outlines of them. I didn't want to come out of that. So there's some appliques that came on the Embrilliance web page. And I think these were some free items that you can download. I can't remember, but I think they are. But there's a lot of good information on the Embrilliance web page. A lot of good information. Okay, why are you doing that? You usually can just click on them and go. So then there's the envelopes function. This is really a nice function. I don't have to use it as much because with Merrowly, I can do some of the functions and they're already kind of in here. Some of them, not all of them, but some of them are here. Like if you want to do like varsity sports and some emblems, and these are one of my favorites, like the football. You click OK, and you see the name Jeffrey is already in there. If you want to change that to, I don't know, let's make it Coach. You click on the letter and click on the word letters over here and type in Coach. Hit the return key, and then you have Coach in that football. It's pretty cool. I don't mean to move it off, but you can see. So that's pretty cool. You can put a name in there if you want it. I think it looks better with capital letters, but I'm gonna hit that. It's pretty cool too. And you can change the color of that letter if you want it, right? Color. Oh, I don't want any of those. Let me type in brown. If I spell brown right, hit return, and there you go. That's a light brown. Bronze. Okay. So you can change the color of the letters. I think Embrilliance is getting tired. Sometimes it'll just go out on me. So you can change the color of letters. You can go in here and if you want it with the, I think this might be an essential function that I'm going to show you right now too. But if you wanted to, you can click on this little stitch simulator thingy, and you can roll around to your different letters that you have, right? So let's say I wanted to, there's a few ways to take this background out. But okay, I'm going to go here to, I'm going to stop right there and change the color because I was going to Stitch Simulator and I should have showed you that. Hold on. Let me cancel that. I got too many things on the screen, so let me take that out. I'll show you right here with Joanne. Let's delete a few things. I can tell the machine is not happy with me. Sorry, Jerry. Hit save. And what if I wanted to do something different with the patch. I didn't want this big thick edge on the patch. So I'm up here in Stitch Simulator. Click on that. And then I scroll through and just kind of play with the stitches to get them where I want. So I'm going to go to the end of that stitch and click stop and just change the color to something totally different. A dark color, click OK. And then that opened up, that ungrouped things for me. So now you can see different colors in the patch. And I can get rid of the big, thick patch edge if I want it, like that. Or I can just have different color in there. So I kind of like that thing to change colors on things. This whole thing just looks funny now. Let's see how far back Embrilliance will let me go. I'm going to go back to my original. That's it. I guess it said you hit enough saves. So that's it. I'm going to get rid of this and just keep the name. Okay. If I want to do and I have it already, a breast cancer awareness ribbon, I'm going to click OK just to show you. The name Jessica's in there. So what if I want to just put Leela, because I am a survivor? I can go over here. I'm trying not to go so fast. Click on the ribbon. I don't have to click on the ribbon. I can just go over here to the word Jessica down here. And I can go to letters. And I can type Miss Leela. And I can change the font to one of my favorite fonts. And that's Fancy Script. And I said Leela. I guess I did too many things at one time. Miss Leela, and hit return. And let's see how that looks. I like that. I like that. I'm going to change the color. So let me click on Miss Leela and go to color. And what color do I want? Let me look at some other pinks. I can change these colors all day, but if I don't have that color thread over here in my arsenal, then I won't be able to use it anyway. But I'm going to stick, let's check out this hot pink. That's cute. I like that. I like that. So let's say I want to just save this portion, right? I can highlight the ribbon. Now that's under Merrowly for like patches and things like that. So I can highlight those two and I can hit Control G or Command G. So now I've just grouped those. I don't know if they stay grouped. It doesn't look like it. I'm going to highlight them. Control V. That's not what I want to do. I'm going to highlight them and Control X or Command X. Make a new file and Control V, or you can go up here and paste. And it tells you Control or Command. And I have that file and I can save it for myself for later. I have some breast cancer awareness gift that I'm making, and this is going to be one, not for myself. I'm going to put somebody else's name in there, but that's cute. And if I want to save it, I want to select all and I want to group it, and I can save it. I can put this on a t-shirt. It'd be kind of heavy for a shirt, but I might. And I could also put it on, oh, I have a couple of ideas for it. But what if I didn't want this thick edge of this patch for, I can click on this stitch simulator and I can, okay. Before I do that, I wanted to show you that if you look on the screen over here, the ribbon is just shown in one file, right? And then the letters by itself. So if I wanted to, I can go to Stitch Simulator and I can scroll. I would stop at the first, when it first started, those letters right there. Let me go right here. Right before it, see when it started to do this next little stitch, I will come out of that and hit stop. And if I change the color, let's use this light red that's showing up. Click OK. When I change the colors, if you notice, I got this arrow for a drop down over here, and now they're individual. So I can take something out. I can get rid of, I think that's the thick outline. Yeah, so I can get rid of some things. I can get rid of that background. What if I just want it to be this? That's cute too. So I can change it to some different things. And I can hit save because I want to save that. And it's going to be BCA sample ribbon. NPL. Be able to spell and save that, and I can pull it up later, right? Or I can send it to my machine or whatever else I want to do. So that's a lot of functions here. There's so many other things you can do, and I can change the grid setting. I can't remember if I showed you this. I want to show it one more time. So under here, show the preference window and grid settings. You can change these lines back here to dots. It's kind of cute. And let me show you those. See, they're dots instead. Or go back to lines. You can change the background to another color. Either these colors down here, or you can go to your pencils if you have that function. And you can just change the background to something else. Hit apply. And look at that bright color. Or the cute pink. Apply. Woo, Lord. But this way you can just see what something's going to look like when you get ready to print it or something like that. If you wanted to show somebody a sample of what it would look like, then you would have that. Let me go to background. Let me lighten that up a little bit. Apply. Said apply. You didn't get that color? Too much for you? Okay. Let's try that again. Grid settings. Oh, the color wheel too, huh? Let's see what happens. Apply. And then let's just say I wanted to send a sample to this to someone. I will make that ribbon pink first real quick. You can go to threads, or if you click the word palette, then it's the colors that you already have on your screen. So you can color match and click OK. You don't have to look for that color anymore. Just hope you got it in your over here in your little space to stitch. So let's say I wanted to save this, send it to someone. I can hit select all somewhere, select all and group. And then I can save this image right here. And I can click OK. And I need to name it. So let's leave it at that. 15 BCA samples, save. And then let's say I wanted to send this to someone. Let me pull the image back up. Here it is under image. So I can send this to my cousin or someone and say, Anita, look here. This is the way this ribbon is going to show up. I can print it for her. I can airdrop it to her. I can put it in my photos and send it to her. I can put it on Facebook, social media, or I can print it and have it to show someone, or put it in my binder that I keep with a bunch of designs that I have, or that's it. But that's how you save an image. If you had like an Etsy store or something, you save something that you designed, you can put it on there. Also, I usually print out my designs when I'm getting ready to stitch them. And that way I know the exact size and everything that I have and put it right onto my machine so I can see how it's going to look. But that's it. I think I've rambled on enough, and I'm going to stop right here and tell you that thank you very much for watching. any parts of this video. And if anything helped you, please click the like button. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And I will be doing more updates soon. Have a great day, and thanks again.